In the middle of Nigeria's worst economic crisis in decades, a retail miracle is unfolding in plain sight. For nearly 2 decades, the blueprint for winning the African consumer was simple. Build a giant, massive supermarket, make it luxury, and then fill the store with hundreds or thousands of imported goods. And then the middle class will come. It was the era of the premium aspirational shopping experience. But by 2022, that multi-billion-dollar blueprint evaporated. The skyrocketing inflation stripped everyday families of their disposable income. The crashing naira made imported goods look like luxury. People could no longer afford it. The mega malls, once celebrated as symbols of an emerging middle class, became quiet monuments to economic miscalculations. While some multi-billion-dollar foreign conglomerates like ShopRite packed their bags and fled the country, a neighborhood store with a simple blue logo was doing the impossible. It expanded at breakneck speed. Over 120 branches across Southwest under 36 months. It drew thousands of daily customers, sparked wild internet conspiracy theories that it was secretly funded by German retail royalty, and used a single warm loaf of bread to completely disrupt a multi-billion naira industry. But then, the internet was completely wrong. Bokku Mart is not a foreign invention. It is a story of an industry outsider, a Nigerian technology executive who looked at a collapsing economy and threw away the traditional retail handbook and engineered a multi-million naira business empire from scratch. Now, this is the untold story and the secret playbook of Bokku Mart. Grab your notepad. I am Danica Kosy, and this is the Mogul Breakdown. To understand how Bokku Mart conquered the market when everyone else was failing, you have to look through the eyes of its founder, Adewale Adeyemi. Long before his brand became synonymous with the fastest grocery expansion in West African history, Adeyemi was an industry outsider. Adeyemi spent over 20 years operating as a high-level technology, operations, and digital transformation executive. His entire profession was dedicated to tracking data infrastructure, managing complex enterprise systems, and systematically eliminating operational waste. By late 2021, Nigeria's economic foundation was shifting dramatically. The rising inflation was shrinking households' purchasing power, and the extreme exchange volatility was crippling multinational retailers who relied heavily on imported goods. Some traditional business executives looked at the market and saw a retail graveyard. In fact, to some of them, there was no hope at all to run a business like that in Nigeria. But Adeyemi, looking at the situation with the mind of a software engineer, saw an architecture problem. Traditional retail chains were treating supermarkets like high-end real estate ventures and luxury. Adeyemi realized that everyday consumer didn't even care about the bogus building and all of that. They just needed a way to feed their families without going broke. He began to study the global retail landscape, intentionally focusing on the classic European hard discount model of some foreign brands like Aldi and Lidl. He asked himself a radical question: what happens if you eliminate expensive imports, optimize the supply chain with strict data tracking, and drop that hyperlink model directly into the heart of Lagos? Now, when investigative bloggers and business analysts began digging through registration filings to find out who truly owned Bokku Mart, they stumbled on 2 different names, Adewale Adeyemi and Michael Chudi Ejekam. To build a retail empire in emerging markets, you need 2 different elements: a visionary promoter with a radical product blueprint, and a corporate execution engine with the institutional muscle to build it. Now, let us talk about their alliance, because it was a strategic alliance between these 2 different named individuals. Adeyemi had the software-like logic, the hard discount blueprint, and the conviction that a low-price grocery shop could win. But then he also understood a harsh business reality. You can have the greatest retail concepts on paper, but without a heavy real estate leverage, supply chain access, and institutional execution, you are most likely going to remain a simple corner shop. You most likely will not scale. So Adeyemi partnered with a corporate powerhouse, Michael Chudi Ejekam. Ejekam was a corporate titan. He started his career on Wall Street, executing multi-billion-dollar transactions for Merrill Lynch before returning returning to Nigeria to lead West African real estate investment for Actis, one of the largest private equity firms in Nigeria. Now, do you see the strategic alignment here? Ejekam spent his career building the largest, most expensive commercial malls in West Africa, but he realized earlier on that as microeconomic pressure grew, those massive mega malls were becoming unsustainable for both tenants and the shoppers. He knew retail had to shift from massive destination hubs to localized neighborhood units. So when Bokku Mart finally launched its first store on 30 September 2022, it was structurally backed and managed by Chudi's retail platform management, Atros Limited. Adeyemi acted as the promoter, driving the low price strategy and operational philosophy. Meanwhile, Ejekam acted as the platform's CEO, using his extensive real estate experience to negotiate and sign rapid leases across the country. So now with this partnership, while a traditional retailer might take 6 months to secure and build a single store, the Adeyemi Chudi's partnership allowed Bokku to secure, fit out, and open multiple locations in a single month. Now the machine was built. Now they were ready to deploy their brand strategy. Before opening a single storefront, the team had to address one fundamental question. What do you name a brand engineered to disrupt retail during an economic crisis? Now, they avoided complex acronyms, foreign names, and so on, and tapped into local linguistics, naming the brand Bokku. Now, in Nigerian pidgin, Bokku means abundance, plenty, assorted. If you attend a gathering and hear that food is Bokku, it simply means that nobody is going to live here without eating. That food is more than enough. Now, consider the psychology behind this choice. Before a customer sets food inside a store, before they even look at a single product, the name has already targeted their subconscious, their psychology. In a period dominated by news of inflation and shrinking purchasing power, the name communicates reassurance. Something like, forget the hardship, just walk through this store and your money will buy you plenty. They engineered consumer perception from day one. And to deliver on that psychological promise, they unleashed their primary customer acquisition tool, a tactic we call the bread Trojan horse. In retail strategy, a loss leader or primary traffic driver is an item sold at minimal margin or even at cost, specifically to pull foot traffic into the store so that customers can walk into the store and purchase other higher margin items. So for Bokku Mart, their ultimate traffic engine is their fresh, warm, in-house baked bread. Bread is a non-negotiable daily consumer staple in urban Nigerian households. It is consumed across breakfast, dinner, lunch, any time of the day and purchased multiple times per week. So instead of buying third-party bread brands and reselling them for little profits, Bokku installed commercial baking equipment directly inside their store. As loaves baked throughout the day, the scent drifts into the surrounding streets, acting as a natural sensory, billboard. By pricing their bread fairly and maintaining strict quality control, Bokku turns a step into a daily customer habit. Customer rate it as one of the best bread in Lagos State, Nigeria. So now let's analyze the mechanics of this strategy. If you leave your house intending to buy bread by the roadside or by the streets, you still have to make separate stops at another shop, to buy detergent, cooking oil, milk, or tea or something else, right? But when Bokku draws you into their store with not just affordable but high quality bread, the trip is consolidated. Now you just enter and pick up a shopping basket. The friction of buying your other household items another place or in another store disappears. So now the bread secures the foot traffic and the rest of the store generates the operational margin. This strategy powered their rapid expansion across southwest Nigeria. Bokku Mart did not build regional distribution hubs to service distant states first. Instead, he saturated Lagos State, Nigeria first before expanding to other states, establishing high brand density. Once a cluster of neighborhood stores reached profitability, the operational template was cloned and deployed directly into neighboring states like Ogun State. Also, by placing stores within short walking distance of dense residential neighborhoods, Bokku effectively eliminated commuter transport costs for the shopper. Their stores sat along the daily walking paths of residents returning home from work, creating an organic word-of-mouth growth loop without relying on expensive traditional, billboard marketing or whatever. Attracting customers into the store is only the first step. How do they maintain prices below open market rates during periods of high inflation without undermining their business models? Adeyemi executed the classic European hard discount framework, adapting it specifically to local dynamics. Traditional supermarkets boast of carrying different items. They offer 20 variations of tomato paste, 15 different brands of cooking oil, dozens of soaps, and so on. But to an operations executive, high inventory variety creates operational complexity. It increases supplier management overhead, clogs inventory capital in slow-moving goods, and dilutes purchasing leverage, going to tie down so much money in slow-moving goods. Bokku strips away unnecessary variety. So when you walk into Bokku looking for tomato paste or liquid soap, you may find only two choices. Sometimes a leading national brand and Bokku's exclusive private brand. So by consolidating customer demands onto one or two items per product category, they negotiate large wholesale volumes directly with local manufacturers. Now, the resulting price reductions are passed directly onto the customers. Now, this leads directly into the second pillar, private label integration. A significant portion of products on Bokku shelves feature brands unique to their stores. These are not third-party products. They are Bokku's proprietary private label lines. By contracting directly with local processors and manufacturers to produce these items, Bokku eliminates middleman distributor markups and external brand marketing costs. Now, they control production specifications, packaging, and retail margins. The consumer receives a product that performs comparably to established commercial brands at a lower price point, while Bokku retains healthy, unique economics. To observe how deeply this cost control is integrated into the operation, look at the checkout counter. For decades, modern retail shoppers in Nigeria expected free carrier bags with their purchases. Traditional supermarkets built the cost of those free bags directly into the general product markup. I know some of you didn't know that, forcing all customers to subsidize that implicitly. Bokku instituted a strict bring your own bag policy, a standard operational tactic used globally by discount chains like Aldi. So now, if a customer arrives at Bokku Mart without a bag, they choose whether to purchase a small nylon for 60 naira, a larger size for 100 naira, or a thick nylon for 1,100 naira. To a casual observer, charging for nylon bags might seem like a minor operational detail, but from a retail engineering perspective, it achieves two key strategic objectives simultaneously. First, it eliminates a major recurring operational expenses across a network of over 120 branches or 20 stores, serving millions of customer transactions monthly. Providing free nylon bags represents tens of millions of naira in annual costs. Now, by removing that expenses, Bokku avoids adding those costs into their food prices. So now in your head, the food is cheap. During the course of this research, I begged my friend Omar, who stays in Lagos, to help me visit some of the branches of Bokku Mart in Lagos. So we have to give you guys, a first-hand information, so we can be sure of the information we are providing for you guys on this episode of the Mogul Breakdown. Listen to what she thinks about Bokku Mart.
I am currently at Bokku Mart. So far, the shop is neat. The prices are fantastic. Prices that I have not even seen in the market in a while. The difference might not be a lot, 50 naira here, 30 naira there. But when you put it together, you will see that you're really saving a lot of money.
Please head over to our YouTube channel and thank her for helping us carry out this research. Second, it converts a traditional operating expense into a profitable revenue stream and mobile marketing campaign. Bokku manufactures these branded bags in high volumes at a low unit cost. Furthermore, as customers carry this bright, branded bag, they serve as mobile advertisers. While environmental, regulations later prompted other retail chains to rethink single-use plastic, Bokku implemented this model from inception. In an inflationary market, transparent pricing models resonates with value-conscious consumers.
So I'm done buying. This is my receipt, and customer care is amazing. The prices are amazing. The place is sanitary.
Another critical factor in traditional retail failure is capital lockup in real estate. Building large structures, luxury malls exposes businesses to high overhead costs. Bokku executed an asset-light real estate ownership strategy. They do not own their commercial property. Managed through Atrios Limited, Bokku identifies existing neighborhood structures such as renovated ground floors, unused commercial places in good size, sites and enters into long-term, leasing agreements. Because they renovate existing structures rather than constructing facilities from scratch, the capital outlay required to launch a new store remains very low. The business can relocate resources upon, lease expirations without carrying stranded real estate assets on its balance sheet. So by so doing, their capital stays fluid. This efficiency extends directly onto the sales floor. Their design reduces labor costs. Store staff spend less time manually arranging individual items on the shelves. Instead, they place wholesale items directly onto the display racks and cut them open. This practice reduces the floor staff's required per location, lowering ongoing payroll overhead. By combining tech-driven operations, strategic neighborhood placements, a high-frequency bread engine, a high discount discipline, Bokku created an expanding growth loop. More stores increased their total order volume. Larger order volume yielded lower wholesale pricing from manufacturers. Lower prices attracted high foot traffic, which in turn generates the cash flow needed to fund further store openings across the country. Bokku Mart's growth from a single location to a regional network offers valuable insights for founders, executives, and entrepreneurs operating in an emerging market. As usual, here are the 4 core takeaways from their playbook. Lesson 1. Many struggling businesses attempt to market different kinds of products simultaneously. Bokku focused on capturing the daily consumer habits first. By manufacturing high quality, competitively priced bread in-house, they established a reliable foot traffic engine. Instead of relying solely on paid customer acquisition channels, identify the primary daily products your target market requires, price it efficiently, and use it to drive repeat customers. Lesson number 2. Insulate your supply chain from macro shocks. While importers struggles with, foreign exchange fluctuations, Bokku built a model reliant on local sourcing and private label production. By partnering directly with domestic processors for brands like Govita, Rios, and Chula, they reduced exposure to import delays and currency volatility while retaining control over product margins. Lesson 3. Unbundle hidden overhead. Traditional retailers or traditional supermarkets bury the cost of carrier nylon bags within general product markups. Bokku separated these expenses through their buyer policy. This approach removed a significant recurring expenses from their operational balance sheets while converting bag sales into a margin-generating item and an organic marketing tool. Examine your operational expenses to identify liabilities that can be eliminated or converted into value. Lesson number 4. Adapt consumer realities. Meet the consumers where they are. Traditional playbooks assume that buyers prioritize large destination-style retail stores. During inflation period, convenience and direct value comes first to people. By placing compact low stores within walking distance of residential areas, Bokku minimized customer transit costs and reduced its own real estate commitments. Adewale Adeyemi and the management team at Atrios Limited demonstrated that economic downturns do not necessarily mean the end of consumer demands. They often signal the obsolescence of inefficient operational models. By applying data-driven optimization to physical retail, an industry outsider established a benchmark for scaling in West Africa. However, as Bokku Mart scales beyond 120 branches toward broader expansion, it enters a new operational phase. The question remains, can a hyper-local high-discount model maintain strict cost control and operational consistency as its network grows into a large enterprise? Managing supply chain, quality standards across private labels, and potential responses from competing retailers will test their operational infrastructure. So now, go down to the comment section and tell me, how do you view Bokku Mart's strategy? Which of these business choices do you find most notable? And do you think this hard discount model will become the standard format for retailers across emerging markets? Are there any other visible strategy Bokku Mart is using that you think we did not break down in this video that needs to be talked about? Share your thoughts in the comments below. So if you found this breakdown insightful, please do not forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and when you do, turn on the notification bell so you get notified anytime we upload a new video. Because trust me, you do not want to miss the next episode of the Mogul Breakdown. It takes an incredible amount of research to put this together. I remain your girl Danica Kosy. Thank you for watching this episode of Mogul Breakdown. See you on the next episode.